Okay, so recently Barcelona came back after having a goal deficit against Levante, which was 2-0. We came back 3-2. And the reason why I'm making this video is because of this scoreline, right? It did inspire me to rank Barcelona's greatest comebacks under Hansi Flick. And we're going to be starting with number 13, which is Barcelona versus Inter Milan, where at one point we were down 2-0. Then we led 3-2 against Inter Milan, but eventually we lost 4-3. Hence the reason why I put this in very last place, because while yes, through the game, we did come back, in the end, we got knocked out. Inter Milan unfortunately scored twice in extra time, and they reached the Champions League final, but only to get clapped by PSG, showing zero football. Moving on towards number 12, and that is against Real Valladolid, where we were 1-0 down, but we ended up winning 2-1. The reason why this game was so dramatic is because Real Valladolid were trying to fight not to get relegated. Like, they were close, but that's part of the reason why they fought so well against FC Barcelona, and Barcelona came back with Raphinha scoring on the 54th minute, and then Ferran Lopez scoring on the 60th minute. It was scary at one point, because Valladolid scored on the 6th minute, and we're like, bro, like, are we gonna defend anything? Like, what is going on here? But in the end, Barcelona, they defended the 2-1, and we came out with 3 points. Going on to number 11, and that is the match that we have just finished against Levante, where we were down 2-0, we won 3-2, and we all know what happened from there. Pedri scored an amazing long-range goal on the 49th minute, Ferran equalized it on the 52nd minute, and then we had an own goal by Unai, which was one of the center backs of Levante, and it came from a cross from Yamal. It was tough because knowing Levante, knowing how we face them away, it is always tough to face Levante at their home. They always bring their best in terms of like the defensive performance. So I'm glad to see that Barcelona had enough in the tank to make it 3-2 in the end. Moving on towards number 10, and that is a match against Rayo Vallecano, where at one point Barcelona were down 1-0, but we ended up winning 2-1. Again, very similar to the match against Real Valladolid. Barcelona's perfect start at that time of the season was under threat when Unai Lopez scored on the 9th minute. Pedri ended up equalizing in this game, by the way, just like how he did against Levante, and he scored on the 60th minute on a counterattack. And then Dani Olmo, who was one of our debut players, scored the winner on the 82nd minute after also hitting the crossbar earlier. This did maintain Barcelona's 100% start under Flick and marked Dani Olmo's dream debut. Everybody was talking about Dani Olmo at this time. Moving on towards number 9, and that is against Valencia, where Valencia were winning 1-0, but we ended up coming back once again 2-1. It was Hansi Flick's first competitive match as Barcelona's coach, with Hugo Duro scoring the first goal on the 44th minute, and it was a header. Lewandowski equalized on the 45th minute from a Yamal cross, then converted a penalty on the 49th minute, which was like 5 to 6 minutes later after Raphinha was fouled. The reason why I do place this in the number 9 position is because this really did set the tone of Flick's era at the club and what was to come. It was a team that was willing to fight back. Moving on towards number 8, and that is Barcelona versus Inter Milan again, where it was 0-2. Inter Milan were winning. Then we were 3-2 down. Then we drew 3-3 in the Champions League semi-final match. Once again, very unfortunate because, you know, all in all, this match between Inter Milan and Barcelona for both legs really does anger me. But once again, it showcased that Barcelona did not give up. Barcelona conceded after just 21 minutes with goals coming from Thuram and Dumfries. On the 63rd minute, we were already down 3-2, but Yamal scored a brilliant solo goal on the 24th minute. Ferran equalized on the 38th minute. Raphinha had a thunderbolt strike on the 65th minute, and it did complete the comeback. Even though it was not a victory, I'm so happy that, you know, coming away from this game, Yamal became the youngest scorer in a Champions League semi-final game. Moving on towards number 7, and it is Barcelona versus Real Madrid. So at one point, Real Madrid were winning 2-1. We ended up winning this game 3-2. It was a Clásico victory, another Clásico victory out of the 4. This was a very dramatic game because it was a Copa del Rey final match. We saw Pedri scoring the first goal on the 28th minute. Kylian Mbappé scored on the 70th minute. Tchouaméni scored on the 77th minute, and we needed an answer. We needed 2 goals. And then Ferran came in on the 84th minute with Jules Koundé scoring the winner. I believe that all of us can remember this night perfectly. It was amazing. Moving on towards number 6, and that is Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid were winning 2-0, but we ended up drawing this game 4-4. The reason why I put this above the victory against Real Madrid in the final of a Copa del Rey match is because this game was supposed to be lost. Like, we were supposed to lose this. We have never seen, up until that day, a team to score 2 goals against us within 6 minutes. Antoine Griezmann and Julian Alvarez scored those 2 goals very fast, but Barcelona equalized through Pedri's goal on the 90th minute and Pau Cubarsí's goal on the 21st minute. Notice how Pedri is always in the conversation in terms of comeback wins, or like Pedri scoring like one of the first few goals, if not the first goal of a comeback win. Pedri yet again scored during this comeback against Atletico Madrid, and then Inigo Martinez took the lead on the 41st minute, making it 3-2. Lewandowski scores yet again, making it 4-2 on the 74th minute. However, unfortunately, Atletico Madrid fought back with Llorente scoring, later making it 4-3. scoring the equalizer on the 93rd minute, and it eventually led towards a 4-4 draw. It was very intense. hands. But you know what beats this game? It was another Atletico Madrid rivalry, where it was match day 28. Atletico Madrid were defeating us yet again 2-0, but we ended up winning this game 4-2. On this night, Barcelona became the first team ever to beat Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid after trailing by 2 goals in La Liga, something that has not happened since 2007. After being 2-0 down until the 70th minute with goals coming from Alvarez and Sorloth, Lewandowski struck on the 72nd minute. Ferran equalized on the 78th minute, which was like 6 minutes later, and Barcelona did not stop there. They said we wanted more. Yamal scored on the 92nd minute with Ferran completing his brace on the 98th minute. Everybody and every Atletico Madrid fan were like in just so much stress, so much frustration because they could not believe what they saw here. This victory moved Barcelona back to the top of La Liga and broke an incredible Atletico Madrid record, and it extended their unbeaten run to 18 games. It was amazing. Moving on towards number 4, and that is Barcelona versus Celta Vigo. Celta Vigo were 3-1 up against Barcelona, but we ended up winning this game 4-3. Barcelona were really feeling the defeat in the first 30 minutes because Borja Iglesias scored a hat-trick. There was only 30 minutes left to play, and we were still 3-1 down, and it did look like Barcelona were going to lose points in the match. But then Dani Olmo came in once again on the 62nd minute after 5 minutes coming in as a substitute. Raphinha scored and equalized it on the 65th minute, 3 minutes later after Olmo's goal with a header from Yamal's cross. And when it did seem like it was going to be a draw, Raphinha converted a 98th minute penalty to complete the turnaround. This comeback extended Barcelona's lead to 7 points over Real Madrid, and there was so much mental strength being shown. Flick even called this as one of the biggest comebacks ever. Now moving on towards the top 3. Number 3 is going to be Barcelona versus Real Madrid again. Real Madrid were winning us 1-0 by 1 goal, but we ended up winning this game 5-2 in a Spanish Super Cup final. It was the first El Clásico final under Flick. Barcelona were stunned by Kylian Mbappe's solo goal after just 5 minutes. Yamal equalized it on the 22nd minute. Lewandowski made it 2-1 on the 36th minute. Raphinha scored a bullet header on the 39th minute, and then Alejandro Balde added a 4th goal on the 45th minute. It was very intense because the ref was trying to give out 10 plus minutes after the 45 minutes were over. So we played 55 minutes in the first half, which was insane. And Raphinha completed his brace on the 48th minute despite playing with just 10 men because Szczesny did have a red card on this night. Real Madrid had all the opportunities in the world to really make it 4-4 or something crazy like that, like make a comeback, but they could not do anything against a 10-man Barcelona. This was Flick's first trophy and marked the first time Barcelona scored 4+ goals in consecutive Clásicos, and this 5-2 scoreline converted to their 15th Super Cup triumph. Moving on towards number 2, and that is Barcelona versus Benfica. I understand that many might say that this should be in number 1, but I'm gonna place this in second. I'll explain in just a few minutes. Barcelona were 3-1 down against Benfica at one point. They were 4-2 down at one point in this game, but eventually won this game 5-4 in the Champions League. It was one of the most dramatic Champions League comebacks in history. This also happened on my birthday, by the way. It was on January 21st. Barcelona once again 3-0 down at halftime. After 65 minutes, it was 4-2. And we're like, bro, like how is this game going to end? Like, is Barcelona going to come back? Is Benfica going to score more goals? Like, how are we leaking 4 goals against a Benfica side like this? Because Pavlidis, even though yes, he's a great striker, I did not expect him to score a hat-trick against us. And there was also an own goal from Araujo. I'm like, there's no way, bro. Like, is this it? Is our Champions League run going to end here? But then Raphinha scored on the 78th minute, making it 4-3. Lewandowski converted a penalty on the 78th minute. Eric Garcia equalized on the 86th minute, and Raphinha completed his brace on the 96th minute to seal an incredible 5-4 victory. I think that Ferran made the assist to Raphinha. Like, he did make a long pass to Raphinha. Raphinha had to take down like 2 or 3 players down the right flank. You can just hear the silence of the Benfica fans because they felt like Barcelona were going to score this goal in the dying last minutes, and Raphinha did. He came in clutch. Flick called this game as unbelievable and said that he never ever experienced a comeback like it, not even for us. This was the moment that we knew that Barcelona's mentality overall has shifted into a warrior mentality. But now this leads me towards the last one, and that is Barcelona going 2-0 down against Real Madrid, but we ended up winning this game 4-3. I'm always going to place a Clásico comeback over any game. I don't care if we come back against Levante after going down 4-0 but making it 5-4 in the last 10 minutes. I don't care. A comeback against Real Madrid, even if it's Real Madrid going up 1-0 and then us coming back 2-1, I'm still going to claim that comeback higher than anything else. This match was amazing. It was the ultimate comeback against their biggest rivals in a title deciding match. Barcelona found themselves 2-0 down, okay? 2-0 down after just 14 minutes with goals coming from Kylian Mbappé with a penalty and another one coming on the 14th minute. Keep in mind, this was the exact same game where Hernandez was the ref, and he was really trying to drill Barcelona at this time by making horrible calls, ignoring the handball of Tchouaméni. This really did look like Real Madrid's chance to close the gap in the title title race. But then Eric Garcia came in, pulled one back on the 19th minute, followed by Yamal's equalizer on the 32nd minute. Raphinha then scored twice before halftime, making it 4-2. Of course, Mbappé completed his hat-trick on the 70th minute, but Barcelona held their own. They defended the 4-3, and that put Barcelona 7 points clear, and they have basically secured the title by this point. It was a sweet victory, because that was a game where we came out and we said everybody thought that Real Madrid were going to win La Liga this season because they signed Kylian Mbappé, because they had Bellingham, because they had apparently Ballon d'Oro winner Vinicius, according to Real Madrid and their fans. But no, it was Barcelona who won La Liga, even though they had less quality on paper. And this was the first time Barcelona won 4 Clásicos in a season since 1983. And this victory also confirmed to us that we won the 28th La Liga title. It was a psychological impact, and it was immense. So how would you rate your top 3 comebacks under Hansi Flick so far? Which games would you bring in? That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.